Have you ever noticed that someone who used to seem calm, like your parents, now gets offended more easily? Even small things can affect them. A slightly different tone, a delayed response, or even silence can feel different to them. And what makes it confusing is that sometimes you don't feel like you did anything wrong, yet they still feel hurt. So the question is, why does this happen? Have they changed? Or is there something we don't understand? The answer is deeper than it seems. This is not just about emotions, but about what they are feeling inside. As people grow older, many things in life begin to change, not just physically, but also their role. They used to be needed, listened to, respected. But slowly that changes. Decisions are no longer in their hands, their opinions are not always asked, and their presence is not always considered important. Without realizing it, this creates a feeling of loss, a loss of role, a loss of control, a loss of meaning. They don't always express this feeling, but it's still there. And often, it comes out in different ways. One of them is becoming easily offended. Things that didn't matter before now feel bigger, not because they want to make it a big deal, but because there's something deeper that hasn't been expressed. Now imagine this. You feel unheard, but you don't know how to say it. You feel unimportant, but you don't want to appear weak. What happens? Those feelings come out in other ways. And this is often what happens with elderly people. It's not because they want to be angry, but because they don't know how else to express what they feel. There's also the factor of loneliness. As people age, their social circle becomes smaller. Friends decrease, activities decrease, interactions decrease. When that happens, small things begin to matter more. Simple words can feel very deep, and normal behavior can feel hurtful, because there isn't much else filling their emotional space. And another thing that is often not realized is that they become more sensitive to changes. Changes in tone, changes in attention, changes in behavior. Small things that you may not notice, but they do. Because at that stage of life, they become more aware. Not because they are weak, but because they have experienced a lot. And those experiences make their emotions deeper. Now let's talk about what we can do. Not by arguing, not by defending ourselves, but by trying to understand. When they feel offended, don't immediately think they are too sensitive. Try to look deeper. What are they really feeling? Maybe it's not about your words, but about something inside them that hasn't been expressed. Try to change the way you respond. Be calmer, more patient, more present. Sometimes what they need is not an explanation, but attention. Not a solution, but to be heard. And something as simple as that can make a big difference. Because in the end, elderly people are not easily offended without a reason. There is always a story behind it, a feeling beneath it. And if we are willing to look deeper, we won't just understand them better, we will also learn to appreciate them more. Because one day, we will be in the same position, and maybe we will want the same simple thing: to be understood.